The first app is called Air Console, and long story short, it turns your Mac or PC into a fully fledged gaming console that you can then control with your smartphones. And I suppose the best bit here is that because it's all powered by the web, you don't need a super powerful laptop or computer, just a fairly decent internet connection. As soon as you've paired your smartphone through it, you can start scrolling through the pretty vast selection of games on offer. Now that's all well and good, the games on here are rather fun on the surface of it, but they're not really ones you can really sink your teeth into. The real replay value here comes in the form of multiplayer, because as well as being able to connect to your smartphone, you could invite 3 of your friends over, tell each one to bring their own smartphone, and all of a sudden, almost instantly, you've got a 4-player couch co-op experience. Pretty cool. Number 2 is Split Screen Creator, an app that truly extends the functionality of Android multitasking. What it allows you to do is to create application pairs, 2 apps that will automatically, when you tap them, open together at the same time in split screen mode. Now, as you can probably tell, there is a little bit of delay between pressing the button and both applications being loaded up, but either way, it's far faster than the alternative of having to first load up one of the apps, open split screen, and then select the other one every time you want to use them together. And it makes a lot of sense when you have 2 applications that you just tend to use hand in hand anyway. The next one is a custom notification shade, for anyone who A, doesn't like the way their current notification bar looks, but also B, for anyone who thinks it lacks some functionality. The app requires no root, and without doing any tinkering whatsoever, it'll look and feel like you're running Android 8.0 Oreo. You've got all the same access to your shortcuts, to your notifications, but at the same time a pretty intense level of customizability. You can adjust everything from the color of the notifications, the way the quick settings are displayed, or even the color of the bar controlling your screen brightness. Up next, we've got possibly the most seamless and minimalistic note-taking application we've ever used. This is called Notin. It actually opens on top of whatever you're doing, so it doesn't even suspend any applications in the background. You then type out something you really want to remember, and instantly it'll appear in your notification bar. When you're done with it, you simply swipe it away like with any other notification and completely forget about it. By the same company that brought us Duolingo, one of the best language learning applications, we've now got Tiny Cards. And this uses a scientifically proven algorithm to help you remember things. And there is so much information crammed into this one app. Everything from the names of various different animals to Spanish architecture throughout the ages. It'll basically take you from a general knowledge rookie to an absolute genius. As an example, within about 5 minutes of having used the application, I've committed to memory about 7 different types of geographical maps, their exact definition, what they're used for, and what they represent. Very quickly before we carry on, you might know that we are really trying to hit 1 million subscribers before the end of 2017, so if you could support me by subscribing, I would appreciate it so much. The next application is something called Floating Tube. And whilst that probably gives you a pretty good idea of what it does, the name alone doesn't really do the application justice. This is more or less a fully featured YouTube app where you can like, comment, subscribe to channels and visit the channels directly, but also it allows you to create a floating window. A lot of the time when you're watching a YouTube video, you want to be doing something else at the same time. So you can manipulate the window, you can move it around your screen and still interact in full screen mode with other applications. Now, what I like about this floating screen in particular is that even within the mini window, you can skip to different parts and adjust the quality. Now, you might remember that with Android Marshmallow, Google introduced something called the Doze feature on Android, which essentially meant that a couple of hours after turning your screen off, some of the applications would start to close down or be blocked from communicating in order to save battery. Well, this application called Naptime accelerates the process. It makes it so that within a couple of minutes of turning the screen off, the same process has been achieved. Now, it works seamlessly if you have root, and if you don't, there is a workaround, but it does involve a PC and a little bit of fiddling. So, an application that doesn't take itself too seriously, we've got What's Fake. This allows you to fake entire WhatsApp conversations, hopefully just to be used to really joke around with your friends. What it lets you do is create fake profiles with fake names. And whilst the app is kinda heavy on the adverts until you pay for the full version, its feature set is really rather good. It lets you type out the entire conversation from both sides, and it also allows you to adjust the time that the contact was last seen online and if they're typing currently or not. Again, nothing game-changing, but it can make for some fun and kinda realistic pranks on your friends. Now, we've got Battery Meter, and I really like this application. Once you've installed it and enabled it, it creates a tiny little pop-up which probably reminds you on what we've seen on the Essential phone. Except instead of being a camera, this thing shows your battery percentage, which is potentially quite a useful thing. It displays on top of applications, so say for example you're playing an intensive game, but you want to stop when you've hit 20% battery, you can do that. So there we have it guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and as I said earlier, it would mean so much to me.
It's caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire.